What I've done now is I've picked up Emirates NBD as a stock because it's based in Dubai. Um, as per our logic, first we look at the monthly chart. So I pulled up a monthly chart. On monthly chart, the stock's in a continuous uptrend. So we know one option is to wait for stock to come down to this yellow zone. So what I've made is like a projection of what the yellow zone is, but of course it's not going to be like a rectangle, a sideways rectangle. It's pretty much going to be like an inclined part here, right? It's more or less going to be like a thing here. Oh, sorry, wrong drawing. I'll just delete that. No need. Okay. Now, as there are not enough signals plotted, so maybe then either we have the patience to wait till the price drops to a buying point. That's a nice point to buy the company. If not, then I'm gonna go to a weekly chart, and on the weekly chart I'm going to show you again the same two ways of how the algo plot thing can be used. Okay, so we'll just look at two quick examples. Try and keep this as short as possible. um, right, so let's say we are somewhere down the COVID crash, all doom gloom, um, bad news. We are waiting patiently for the algo. Okay, the first time an algo signal comes up, our clear-cut way to buy is here. There's no other place to buy. So an algo signal is popped here, we wait for the price to retrace. However, as I said, there are two conditions to buy after an algo. The other is an advanced condition, but it increases your risk. If this signal was plotted here on this candle, what you do is you put a line on the top of that candle. If the price quickly crosses that point, you can buy it here. So I'm going to explain both these examples today very quickly. Okay, so in this case, we are waiting for the yellow zone, right? Price has dropped to the yellow zone. We enter at 8, and our stop loss, which means the point where our logic gets negated, is this low point, because if you see before in the past, this is the lowest point and then you have a lower point here, but this would be too deep for a risk of almost 4 dirhams per stock. Rather, I would just take a risk of maybe a 1 dirham, which is at this point, and that would be my stop loss line. So my entry will be here, my stop loss is here, and I'm looking for a minimum target of twice of my stop loss. So basically I'm looking for merely 2 dirhams per stock, right? If you have like 10,000 of those or 50,000 of those, that's where it makes a difference. So 2 dirhams might sound smaller, but it depends on the quantity. That's it. That's the first goal reached. At this point, actually, we add more. Remember, we said we will add more, or we will buy even when it crosses this high point. So you can buy more here. We're looking for a minimum of 11 dirhams on the stock. Yep, that is the point where we should be exiting as a trader. At least what you can do as an investor is, if you've got like 10,000 or 1,000 quantity, the first 500 quantity you can exit here, and for the remaining 500 quantity of your stock, you can make a rule like, if the price crosses this black line, when it progresses, if it crosses the black line, let's see when that happens, we will exit our remainder of the quantity. Right. So we exited our first half quantity here, the second half goes here. That's it. That's absolutely it. Bought here, stop loss here, targets A and target B. That's out of the trade, right? Let's quickly see to the other example on the same chart where we are again now waiting for a ready to buy signal. Nothing. I'm even putting this up at 10x speed and I've got to just get a few years here. So yeah, it's gonna take some time, but let's bear with it. There is still no signal plotted by the algo, right? By that time, let's delete our previous lines. Let me just delete all the drawings. Right, so we have a nice and clean chart. So we're still waiting for the algo. Right, first pop-up. We've got the first pop of algo here. Now, this is an easy one. The signal has came right within the yellow zone. So it is at our buying point. 100% we can enter just right here directly. Okay, now I'm gonna just take this back a bit. This is an interesting one. You see there is a second signal form. So either, let's say, if your first buy should have been already here, let's say you missed that boat, a second ready to buy signal appears, and as I said previously, you would put a line right up here. Let's get that in green. If the price crosses 12.2, you're going to make your first buy. By that logic, see how this candle just went up? Your first buying would have been already done here. Now what happens next? If you buy here, the stock's going to do a dip. Yeah, that's not to get us out. Our stop loss, if we bought here, our stop loss has to be at this point. That's where our stop loss is going to be, at the previous low, or the worst case it can be here, but it cannot be here because then it starts to increase our risk, right? So in this case, we bought the stock, it makes a high, and now let's wait and see what happens next. So we bought it at 12, and the risk is of around a dirham. We've got to at least make 2 dirhams on it. Yeah, we've made well more than 2 dirhams. Again, the same logic. We exited around 14 dirhams price because we've got to make 2 dirhams from our buying price. We exit there. The remaining will exit when the price reaches the black point, the black line. Well, it hasn't, but it reached 18. I think if we're happy around that 18 buying point, sorry, you would have exited here, right? So half quantity you exit here, half here, and that's pretty much it. There is no more to this because the algo's already done its job. We've just got to be the decision makers and execute our decisions there. All the thinking has to be done before buying a stock, nothing after it. That's it for now.